Hey guys, how's it going? Will here. Today, Carthook announced that they're suspending their support for their cart recovery tool. And so if you're currently a Carthook customer and you are using that tool, today I'm going to give you some tips to switch to Klaviyo. Alright, so you're switching your cart abandonment from Carthook Recovery tool to Klaviyo. Alright, if you're looking to do this, there's a few things you need to think about. Okay, first off, probably the most important thing is that you need to enable Carthook and Klaviyo. It's pretty simple. There's some pretty good tutorials on how to do it, and you just need to basically set up sort of like an API and have Carthook and Klaviyo talk to each other, and I will link below on how to do that. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. Now once you get that set up though, all right, one of the biggest things you need to do is you need to realize that the dynamic product block that Klaviyo sort of default uses in their abandoned cart flows, all right, you're gonna have to change up all the code on that, because that dynamic product block is technically using code that's used for Shopify checkout and not necessarily Carthook checkout. Now there's some pretty good tutorials out there on how to do that, but you're gonna have to go in there one by one and sort of like change out the links, change out the URLs, and all this sort of dynamic URLs that you're using in the Shopify dynamic block to Carthook, to actual Carthook's dynamic product block. All right, so that is really the most important tip. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is basically when users abandon the cart or the checkout, all right, and they get an email, there's going to be no product block. It's just going to show up blank. All right, so that's a very, very important step, and if you don't do it right, it's going to hurt your conversions. All right, so that's really one of the most important things you need to do. All right, the second thing you need to do, all right, that's really important too, is you need to understand that Carthook Recovery and Klaviyo, all right, they report conversion window differently. All right, so if you don't know what conversion window is basically how long a app or a piece of software or whatever you want to call it tracks a conversion. All right, so I'm pretty sure Carthook Recovery tool, they don't even have a conversion window. So for example, let's say I abandoned the cart in July, and then for whatever reason I come back and I click on that link and I actually end up placing the order again in say August or September. All right, Carthook is going to count that as an August or September sale. All right, now Klaviyo, what they do is they default have a 5-day conversion window. All right, and you can go in there and change it to whatever you want. But what happens a lot of time, and I see this over and over again, is when merchants they make the switch over from Carthook abandoned tool, or really any sort of abandoned cart tool that doesn't have a conversion window, to Klaviyo. All right, they don't realize that there's this 5-day conversion window, and what they'll see is they'll see their actual stats go down. Now most of the time when an abandoned cart happens, usually a prospect recovers the cart within 5 days, but typically there's going to be about 10, maybe even sometimes 20% of those prospects actually don't recover until after 5 days. So Klaviyo is not going to count that as a sale. All right, so you'll log in and you'll see, like, after doing this for a month, you'll be like, wow, like we had like maybe a total placed order rate but between 15 and 20% when using Carthook Recovery tool, but now that we're on Klaviyo, it's below 15%. What's going on? Why don't we just go back to Carthook Recovery tool? And I will tell you, like 9 times out of 10, it's because of the conversion window count for this. And when you actually add in the conversion window and subtract all the orders that would not have fallen in with the conversion window with Carthook checkout, you'll see that actually the numbers are normally like pretty aligned. So that's like your 2 big tips there when making the switch, right? Make sure you change out the code in the dynamic product block, and also make sure that when switching to Klaviyo, it has a default of a 5-day conversion window. And if you don't account for that when sort of comparing and contrasting when you switch over to Klaviyo from the Carthook Recovery tool, your stats are going to be kind of skewed and you're not going to understand it. So really, really important. So hope that helps, and yeah, good luck in your migration over to Klaviyo. Later, guys.